Cadet Mendoza here to brief my Paragraph 1 squad mission. So to start off, first we're going to start off with our task organization on the squad level. So right now we're dealing with a squad, and we have our task organization. So we have our Alpha team, our Bravo team, and our Weapon squad. So we have our Alpha team with the task of support by fire, and then with the naval. So our key weapon systems for the Alpha team will be the M249, the M320. So then we have the Bravo team. And the Bravo team's task is to destroy the enemy mortar team, and then also to deny enemy influence. The key weapon systems for the Bravo team will be the M249 and the M320 also. And then we have our weapon squad. The task is to isolate, so prevent enemy influence on the DO. And then the key weapon systems for the task organization on the weapon squad level will be the M49, the M320, and the M3. To also note, we have our task, which is to attack to destroy Objective Phantom. And we have our purpose, which is to deny enemy influence on the battalion DO. So for our first GTAO, this is just kind of going over all the routes and plans. Identifying the major routes we could take. We have our Objective Phantom here. We have our phase line, which is our phase line Arctic, which goes from about 33 to 13. And then we have our phase line Alaska, which stretches across the central area of the map. So for our area of interest, first I want to start off with our assets. So for our CAS or CCA/UAS, our first asset is just the one platoon and the Z-10K. So that will be the indirect fire we could be expecting is the PL-66 152 millimeter howitzer, and then it takes and then the next one we have is 1 times the PP-87. And then also for the location of the howitzers, we have in the vicinity of Tatung, and then it's ranging from the entirety of the AO Ronin. Then we have the Battalion Q50 UF 11973184. And then the trigger for the howitzers would be the ID of USF infantry elements of the squad size. Then we have the daily firing from MFP 0300 to 0800 hours and 1500 to 1900 hours. And both of these would take 10 minutes would be for the howitzers, 5 minutes would be for the PP-87. So moving on to the reserve and reinforcements, we have one motorized platoon. The location UF 0845258847, and we have the trigger, which is to prevent USF advance in the coastal region. And then we have the times for 40 minutes. Then we have the platoon of PGZ 04A. We have the location to be in the vicinity of UF 17299. And then the detection of aircrafts will be the trigger, and then the time is non-applicable. Finally, we have our platoon of HQ 116S in the vicinity of Lu, which is 091342. And then our trigger will be the detection of aircrafts as well. So for my GTAO, basically, I wanted to start off with my avenues of approach. So first, my avenues of approach is going to stem from AO Ronin. We're going to follow, and we're going to be along the mountain trail. So we're basically going to use the side of the mountain to come, and then we're also going to hit the phase line Arctic as well. The one that I mentioned earlier. So once this is going to label our first avenues of approach, and then for our second avenue of approach, we're going to come straight down from this mountain line, and then we're going to come right in front to our. It's also right in front of phase line Arctic, and then we're going to hit objective Phantom. So for the enemy's avenues of approach, we have it leaving. They could potentially leave from the top of this ridge line right here. They could potentially escape through that way, or they could take this road along this mountain and escape that way. So existing man-made in the coastal mountain region, so the Benin River and wire obstacles. So the first thing I want to do is describe. So for the existing man-made and natural, we're gonna have coastal mountain ranges and wire obstacles. For the ground and air, we're gonna have for the avenues of approach 1, the primary route. There's improved roads to the ridges that could handrail to the objective, as I said in the previous GTAO. And then for avenues of approach 2, the follow ridge line could be improved. Roads and can also handrail to the objective. So here we have our effects on friendly, effects on enemy, and the deductions on so what, and then you'll be able to go through those and see. So like for example, we have effects on friendly could be severely restricted to the east and the west, and then we have effects on the enemy. Enemy also will be affected by high altitudes and waterways, which can also not be in avenues of approach for them. So it's kind of just going through how it'll be affected on us, and then how it'll be affected on the enemy, and then why it's important. Yes, we have our enemy composition here. We said our unit faces the enemy motorized infantry squad at 90% strength, and these are their layouts. So for the enemy situation, this is basically going to be what the enemy is going to be, what we're predicting the enemy is going to be planning on doing. So, yeah. So enemy composition and strength, 1 level up, which is the motorized infantry platoon at greater than 90% strength. So we have our first one, which is the task is to disrupt. Second team, which is to occupy, and our third team, which is to control village at UF 1121324. So this is the platoon, and then also we have our task to screen and our task to disrupt for these 2 squads as well. Yeah, that's the enemy composition and strength. So next we're gonna move on to the enemy situation. So this is the enemy situation as we described. Composition and how we're gonna dictate what they're doing and how they are. So we have our key weapons. We have our key weapon systems, the number of weapon systems, weapon or equipment symbols, and the purpose and the range and the U.S. equivalent. So all this is going to tell us exactly what to expect, exactly what to see from our enemy. So our lightning route base map. This is what I drew for our enemy. So basically, we have the first circle with the key weapon systems, and then we have the next circle with the key weapon systems. So basically, I just drew the key weapon systems and estimated where the enemy could be positioning their weapon system. So we have like a RPG on the mountaintop, which is smart because they have the high ground. Just different key weapon systems that can be strategic at different heights. And this slide is just talking about the intelligence, the movement and maneuver, the fire, the protection, the sustainment, and the command and control. So it gives a description of each, and then justifies whether each is a strength or a weakness, and then it comes to a significant conclusion for each one. We briefly went over this. No, we didn't go over this. But this is on the enemy side temp, but it's basically just explaining basically what we're expecting their maneuver to be. So the purpose of the enemy's operation, and then their end state goal, which we didn't fill out. But so it's the friendly mission and intent. We have the battalion commander's intent. Then we have the end state, the company commander's intent, and also the end state. I don't want to go too long, so I won't read out each one, but I'll read the mission statement because that's the pretty much sums it up. But the mission statement is Charger Company and 1st Infantry Battalion disrupts enemy forces in AO Ronin no later than 302200 August 24th to deny deny enemy influence on the battalion BO, and then it gives the expanded purpose and the key tasks. But yeah. So then finally we have our concept sketch, which just labels our Axis Smash, things like our OBJ, our Objective Reaper, Objective Ghost, Objective Phantom, and then our items of approach, and then yeah, our things like our rivers, and yeah. Man, that concludes my brief. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.